Welcome to Orn Oth's Bedtime Stories. Tonight's story, Orn Oth's Nightmare Guide, written by Orn Oth the Dragon and read by Orn Oth the Dragon. Out past the city and the farms, just before the woods, there was a small cottage. It was nestled into the bottom of a few hills and made the perfect spot to raise baby dragons. The full moon cast its light all across those hills that were at this time blanketed in snow. Inside one of the rooms, a 12-inch long baby silver dragon with light blue under his wings named Orn Oth was tossing and turning on his soft, comfy pillow. Orn Oth's sapphire blue eyes opened suddenly from a terrible nightmare. Orn Oth was scared and a bit confused. The moonlight coming through his window still left ominous shadows all around him. So Orn Oth reached under his pillow and took out a little glow-in-the-dark fish toy. Usually, Orn Oth used his toy to see when he needed to get up at night to use the bathroom, but tonight it helped him to see that he was alone in his room. This still didn't make Orn Oth feel better. He did not want to be alone. Too scared to leave his bed, Orn Oth called out to his mother, Lily. An agonizing minute went by before there was a light knock at his door. "What is it that you need, my little silver tooth?" Lily asked. Orn Oth flew to the door to let his mother in. Lily was a middle-aged amethyst dragon. Her deep purple scales reflected the light of Orn Oth's toy through a silver sheen that encased each one. Her eyes seemed almost clouded around the edges, but Orn Oth could see love radiating from them. Lily scooped him up in her arms and held him close. This helped Orn Oth to relax and not feel so scared anymore. He told his adopted mother about the nightmare he had as she put him back on his pillow. Orn Oth was so small that his whole body fit easily on the pillow, but that didn't stop Lily from tucking him in with a nice warm blanket. "Orn Oth, my dear, do you know why you have nightmares?" she asked. "Is it because my mind is angry at me?" Orn Oth pondered. "Oh no, my sweet little silver tooth," Lily said as she stroked the back of his neck gently. "It is not that your mind is angry with you. It is trying to help you." Orn Oth yawned, his eyes getting heavy as his mother comforted him. "What do you mean, Mama?" he asked. Lily booped his snout with her own. "You watched a scary movie before bed, even though I asked you not to, and some of the things you saw were new and scary." "Yes, I should have listened to you. I don't like nightmares," Orn Oth replied. Lily then explained how this was part of how his brain was trying to prepare him for surviving in situations he had not considered before. Since he saw something scary, his mind was trying to figure out how to deal with it. "But how do I make the scary thoughts go away, Mama?" Orn Oth pleaded. "Different things work for different people," Lily told him. "For me, listening to gentle music helps, as does holding my darling little ones. Your brother Jasper deals with them by talking through how they made him feel, but your sister Lenora imagines a story that she likes better, and as she goes back to sleep, she often dreams of it instead," Lily continued. Orn Oth listened to each of the ways his family members dealt with their nightmares. He also thought about how having his glow-in-the-dark toy had helped him a little. He thought that maybe having a soft light like a nightlight could help too. Orn Oth was now feeling quite tired and very relaxed, but he was still not yet ready to go back to sleep, so he started asking questions to take his mind off his troubles. Mama, Lenora says that all dragons have a special magic they can breathe. Mine is ice. Hers is fire. Jasper's is a cloud that makes everything slow down. But what is yours, Mommy? Orn Oth asked. Lily raised an eyebrow. Are you trying to keep yourself awake? She asked. Maybe a little. I am trying to get my mind off the nightmare, Orn Oth responded. Lily sighed. Your siblings call it firework breath. I only use it on special occasions, she said. Orn Oth's eyes went wide. I want to see, he said. Lily shook her head. Not tonight. You have to get some sleep. But I don't want to go to sleep, Mama. What if I have another nightmare? Orn Oth protested. Lily thought for a minute as she sat on the bed next to her son, her tail hanging off the bed, swaying back and forth. All right, then. I will make you a little companion, Lily said. Reaching into the pouch on her stomach, Lily took some soft, fuzzy cloth, some cotton, some thread, and 2 small, smooth buttons, and used her magic. She made a black and white panda bear, standing on all 4 limbs for Orn Oth. This is Jojo. He is your protector, and he will keep you safe from the nightmares, she told him. Orn Oth stood up and waddled around the teddy bear that was twice his size, and then he hugged it tightly and dragged it back to his pillow to snuggle up. This time, when Lily stroked the back of his neck, Orn Oth fell asleep right away. Then, as she left the room, her tail brushed the blanket, and it slipped down off the pillow where Orn Oth and Jojo were sleeping. The door to Orn Oth's room closed, and as it did, shadows crept across the room. Out of the shadows, nightmares formed and shambled towards the little sleeping dragon. That is when Jojo stood up, a wooden shield appearing in one of his paws and a wooden sword in the other. The nightmares attacked, throwing themselves at the bed, but Jojo stood his ground, fighting them off one by one, driving them back. Then the nightmares melded together into one great big nightmare, so big that they filled the whole room and loomed menacingly over the bed. But Jojo was not afraid to face the nightmare. Jojo rushed across the bed and leapt into the air, striking the nightmare down and chasing it back into the shadows where it belonged. Orn Oth sighed in his sleep as he finished dreaming about his new stuffed panda bear, saving the night by fighting off the nightmare shadows and keeping him safe. He then started a new dream all about sliding down a hill covered in snow. He shivered a little, missing his blanket in his sleep, until Jojo reached down and pulled the blanket back up and over his little dragon friend. Then Orn Oth slept happily all through the night. The end.